Lychee and Longan. Very similar, but also quite different. Hi, my name is Jeff. Welcome to my tropical garden channel. Today we are going to talk about the growing conditions and the differences between lychee and longan. But first, if you like this type of channel, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. So let's take a look first at my lychee tree. It's a couple years old. It's not very big. It's been transplanted a couple times to the ideal location. But as you can see, it has no freeze damage, no winter damage at all. Closer look, you can see that it is starting to, let's see, where the heck are we at? I don't see any new growth. Right here, we've got some new growth on it already. It's coming out of its winter, dormancy. Soon it'll be flowering, and then fruit will come. Over here we have my longan tree. If you take a look, it too is healthy. No winter damage. And let me see. I don't see any new growth quite yet, but it is very healthy and doing very well. So it's a bit bigger. This tree's a couple years older, and yeah, it did pretty good over the winter. We had a mild winter this year in San Joaquin Valley. Sorry, people in Texas, I know you did not. But yeah, we just barely got down to 32.8 degrees. So all my trees did fine without any freeze damage. So the question becomes, what's the difference in the growing conditions of the lychee and longan? First, I think that lychee here in the San Joaquin Valley, where it gets really hot, likes a little bit of afternoon shade, just a little bit of filtered shade on the hottest part of the day. The longan, on the other hand, it takes the heat no problem. Lychee is really sensitive to excess nitrogen. It will drop its fruit if you put too much nitrogen, and if you don't water it enough while it's flowering. And it starts to flower right when we our rain starts to taper off in the late spring. And so you have to start flooding it. I mean, I just flood it once a week really heavily, just so that I make sure that it sets fruit. The longan, on the other hand, it doesn't mind. It's less demanding than the lychee tree. It will take less water. It will still fruit. It will take the heat. It takes a smidgen more winter cold. Both trees prefer to be planted in a sandy loam with good mulch on the top layer of the soil. Come over here and we'll take a look at what I mean by that. They, like avocados, have a web of roots in the topsoil, the top layers of the topsoil. Get that weed out of there. And they, as you can see, here's one right there that is just on the surface. And so it's very sensitive to nitrogen fertilizers, drying out, especially when flowering and fruiting. So yeah, you just want to make sure that both of them gets a good mulch on the top, organic mulch, that is leaves and rotting material and so on and so forth, rotten material that breaks down. So that's the case with the lychee and the longan, is both of them. They also prefer rainwater. They do not like our high pH water, irrigation water here that comes to our homes. And so ideally, if you can get big rain barrels and water them, especially in the spring, whenever they're flowering, with rainwater, what a secret right there. The compost helps with the soil pH. They prefer soil pH less than 6.5. Here we're about 7. And 7.75. And by composting, lots of compost, well-rotted compost, it tends to adjust the soil pH. So that's just about it. One of the biggest differences is it seems like the Longan is more hardy here, more frost hardy. It's more tolerant of our salty soils. It's tolerant of drought, more tolerant of drought conditions. Lychee is very important for you to water it heavily, preferably with rainwater during its flowering and fruit time. I don't put any nitrogen on my lychee tree. It gets enough from the trees around it whenever I fertilize them. Ideally, I do, right at fruiting and flowering time, I put a blooming fertilizer, a 0-10-10, mix it up in a 2-gallon container, and I will flood each tree, which encourages, strengthens the blooming and fruiting. And I do pretty good. Last year I got a lot of Longans. Not so many lychees because I had pruned it back. But yeah, a little bit of, with a little bit of positioning in your garden, ideal watering conditions, good compost. I think anybody in zone 9b and zone 10 will be able to grow lychees and Longans. One other thing as I wanted to point out is that both of the trees are on the back side of this house, and the wind is not so hard on the trees. Lychees and Longans both do not like a lot of wind. It just really stresses them out. Let me take a look. Let me see if there's anything growing over. Oh yeah, it's starting to. See right here. It's starting to regrow. Starting to break dormancy, so it will be soon to be flowering, fruiting. Hi, my name is Jeff. If you like this type of channel, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be having more videos on both of these trees and many more as we go through the summer, as my trees start flowering and fruiting, and I will offer more tips and tricks on different kinds of things, from guavas to mangoes to macadamia nuts to avocados and so on and so forth. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and hit the subscribe button. Comments and questions, leave it below. You have a good day.